Have you ever returned to a place from your past only to realize how much you missed the first time? Over 30 years ago, I lived in Kagawa, the smallest prefecture in Japan, which is rich in culture and tradition. But it wasn't until I came back, after all these years, that I truly saw what I had overlooked. The people, the stories, the simple moments that I totally took for granted. In this video, I'm going to share 5 key points that I've learnt since returning to Kagawa. Stick with me and I'll share what time has revealed to me, lessons that just might change the way you see your own life. I've been asked to join the Zentsuji City Monitoring Tour, so a lot of the images that you're going to see are from this tour that I participated in over 3 days. Our first stop was at La Paysanne, an organic French restaurant where the chef absolutely loves kukai and specializes in authentic Shojin ryori. It was an absolute experience and really the pictures don't do the food justice. I'll put a link in the description for all of the amazing places I'm visiting on this tour. Now Zentsuji is located in the northwest of Kagawa Prefecture, and it's the home of the Zentsuji Temple, which is the head temple where the famous monk Kobo Daishi was born, also known as Kukai. Our first stop on the tour is monk guided meditation.
With right foot. And when you get out, you are going back to the earth.
Yeah.
So you leave from
Left
the left.
foot.
Okay, you bow once before then go with the right.
Zentsuji is the birthplace of the founder of Japan's most sacred pilgrimage. You may have heard of the Shikoku 88 Temple pilgrimage. It's Japan's most famous pilgrimage route. The route follows a 1,200 kilometer circuit around the island of Shikoku. I think I made a lot of mistakes when I first came to Kagawa at 18. I really thought that traditions were something that were old-fashioned and I really wasn't interested in anything that people wanted to share with me. But now I'm returning and I'm seeing things in a different light, and I'm really seeing how these traditions are the threads that hold the community together. And I really know that without traditions, communities can't thrive. They're not just rituals, they're a way of passing down people's values and stories. It gives a sense of identity for the Japanese people. And I'm really starting to know that I should have appreciated these a lot more when I was here. I guess that's my biggest takeaway from this trip so far. I remember being so impatient when I was younger, and I was always thinking of wanting to get to the next thing, and I didn't really appreciate a lot of the people that came into my path and that I met along the way, especially during that time I did the homestay. So I'm really reminding myself when I meet people to enjoy their presence and just get to know them a bit more, find out what their story is and learn something from them. I'm really appreciating the people that have joined me on this tour. I'm not someone that normally goes on tours because I'm a little bit shy like that, but I am appreciating these people. They are such lovely, lovely people. This is something I wish I'd been able to do more of 30 years ago, but I think I was just too shy. ありがとうございました。ありがとうございます。ありがとう。As part of this tour, we'll be staying at a shukubo, which is a temple lodging in Japan that allows visitors to stay overnight within a Buddhist temple. Originally, these places were designed only to accommodate monks and worshippers, but nowadays, because of the declining number of monks and visitors, these places are starting to accept tourists as well. If you're staying at temple lodging, it means that you'll be sleeping on a tatami mat floor in a traditional room. You'll also partake in Shojin cuisine, which is made mainly with vegetables. After dinner, we had an excellent walk just around the local town, down in some narrow streets, and we met up with some lovely locals. We also heard that our news article would be on TV tonight, so I've got a little snippet to show you.
外国人観光客を呼び込もうと海外出身のインフルエンサーを招き 四国遍路の札所の寺で瞑想などを体験してもらうモニターツアーが善通寺市で昨日から行われています。
いろんな体験ができて本当に楽しかった。日本の文化とか深く分かるようになるのですごくいい経験だと思います。It was during this NHK interview that I realized how much I missed the first time I came to Japan. They really hit me with some interesting questions, although they weren't all shown in this footage. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever returned to a place from your past only to realize how much you missed the first time? Here you can see me making wagashi, or traditional Japanese sweets. It actually looks more like a work of art than a snack. But these aren't a daily snack. They're more of a special treat that's often eaten during a Japanese tea ceremony and presented to guests. The ones you can see me making are namagashi, and they're made using a rice flour dough with a sweet bean paste as the filling. They're really delicately shaped and usually made by hand, and they reflect the changing of the season, so they can be shaped like seasonal fruits, vegetables, animals, or more. Today we were making a flower shape. The lovely volunteers who'd come today had dressed so beautifully in their kimonos. It really made this a special event. We made a quick stop along the way to try katapan. It's basically really hard bread, and it took me a little while to get used to, but once again this is another brand new experience for me, and I'm going to give everything a go that comes my way. Next up on our tour we have a cooking class, and today we'll be making mosso meshi. The main ingredients for this dish is obviously rice, tofu, carrots, bamboo shoots, burdock, dried gourd, dried shiitake mushrooms, and everything is just cut up really fine and cooked and then added to the rice, and then the rice is put into a mold, pressed down and tipped out onto a plate to make the shape. And it tasted really delicious, and I hope to be able to maybe cook it for you one day on the channel to be able to show you how easy it is to make. So I'm keen to get back home and try it out myself. Japanese people never fail to move me with their kindness, and most of all their thoughtfulness and consideration. It just gets into every aspect of life in Japan. I always get this overwhelming sense of respect, and it's both given and received. It really is a huge part of the Japanese experience.
Oh, すごい。
綺麗。
Happy! Check out this amazing feast of healthy food.
いただきます。
It was also so nice to share a meal with some lovely people who I'd just met, and so lovely to sit outside in the foot onsen and have a good old conversation. It's been so relaxing, and I think that's the theme of this tour. We are really being spoiled on this trip. Next up on our tour, we are painting a tengu mask. Tengu are a type of mythical creature in Japanese folklore, and they're often associated with mountains. If you wear a tengu mask, it's said to bring you good luck and protect the wearer from evil spirits. Next up on the tour was a Japanese calligraphy class. This calligraphy class helps me to reflect on how much I've grown as a Japanese learner. Even now, as I'm sitting here and getting redirected with my strokes, I remember that it's been a long journey learning Japanese. It's not something that happened overnight, and this journey did start 30 odd years ago, and I'm still not perfect and I still have a long way to go. And it's more about self-discovery and the journey. Again, we're having shojin ryori for dinner, which is a meal that's centered around soybean-based foods like tofu, along with seasonal vegetables and wild mountain plants. This is meant to bring balance and alignment to your body and spirit. It's really made me change my idea of what a typical dinner or meal should look like, and I'm starting to become more open-minded. So it's the last day of our Zentsuji City Tour, and today we're painting daruma and also making a paper lantern. And I've really sat down and had time to reflect on this journey that has been Japan and some of the lessons that I've learnt, with the 5 key points being the importance of being present in that moment, valuing the traditions and heritage that aren't just relics but they're part of the community, being grateful for simple things like conversations, meeting new people, going for a walk, sharing a meal, and personal growth, looking back on how much you've actually grown. When you're in the moment, it doesn't feel like you're growing, but when you look back, you can see how much you've actually changed as a person. And the last one is being open-minded to new things in the world, rather than being stuck in our old ways. Each and every person that I met from Zensuji had a warm kindness about them and a strong desire to share their culture and their traditions with people who are willing to listen and learn. I strongly recommend that if you ever come to Japan and you're thinking of visiting Shikoku, don't look over this amazing town and its amazing people. It's really well worth your effort to visit Zentsuji in Shikoku, Japan. Thanks for sticking around to the end and joining me on this little trip. See you next time. Bye.